Hello everybody. I just thought I would give a quick update on some things and also just some thoughts around starting to come out the other side a bit of the emotional aspect of this. So I went to see my GP at the beginning of the week to have a cancer care review, and we spoke about my concerns about not having surveillance scans, and the GP said that I was within my right to ask for a second opinion from Moorfields if that's what I wanted. What I was happy with actually was that I would go to my follow-up appointment at Moorfields whenever that is. I imagine that's going to be around April or May, because I was told it'd be around 4 months' time. Go to that follow-up appointment, see what's happening with the tumour, because depending on what's happening with the tumour, that might change the conversation anyway. Hopefully they will say that the tumour is stable, but we'll see. But I think that's better to wait, see what's happening there, and then I can have a conversation while I'm there about surveillance scans and getting a second opinion, which I'm not kind of looking forward to because I don't want to be perceived as rude. And my GP said, you're not being rude, you're within your right to ask for it. But it's kind of like, I don't know if we're conditioned in this society to respect the doctors and respect their opinions, and we don't question them. And it's not that I'm questioning the opinion, but I'm concerned that never having surveillance scans again, I don't think that's a good idea for me personally. I suppose that leads me on to the reflections of how I feel that I'm settling a bit emotionally, because I think if I'd have had this conversation with the GP a month or so ago, I would have gone in there saying, I need scans to start now. I'm really concerned, and I would have been coming from a place of fight or flight. And now I feel that I'm settling a bit from that. I'm not operating so much from a place of fear, because I think that's where I was coming from before. Everything I was thinking and wanting to do was coming from a place of fear and worrying that I was going to pretty much, just that the cancer was going to spread tomorrow and then that was going to be it. I've started to feel a little more settled emotionally and a bit calmer, and okay, let's think about this a bit more objectively. I'm not feeling that kind of desperation, if you like. I still want scans, and bottom line is I'm in a fortunate position that I could afford to pay for them privately if I have to, and that's what I'll do if I have to. We'll see what happens. And I went into the conversation with the GP not with I need to get these scans, I need to get him to agree to it. I just went in more with a view of, okay, let's just see how the conversation goes, and that was far more helpful. I also asked him about potentially having or being prescribed some medication for when I have my eye injections, just to calm me. I've never had anything like that before. I just felt that the eye injection was it was not pleasant, and I'll be honest, I don't want to take a chance that I'm going to be okay for the next one. I just want to be able to get through it and just not get so emotionally distressed by it. Maybe it wouldn't be, maybe it'd be different because a bit of time would have passed, and then there's a bit of me that's like, well, you should be able to get through it and you should be brave. And I'm like, you know what? Screw that. If I can be given a tablet just before I have the injection to just help calm me through it, then why not? I'm not asking for a regular prescription. It's just before I have these injections. The GP said what I'd need to do is speak to the eye clinic team about that, see what they say. And I get that, because I don't know, if I have a certain medication that calms me, is that going to get in the way of the injection somehow? Is it going to conflict with the medication that they use? I don't know. So I'll have a conversation with them. But he did say that's quite common, that people ask for that sort of medication. To think that you have to grit your teeth and just get through it and sort of suffer through it, that's being brave. I'm learning that that's not the case, and that it's okay to say, you know what, I need a bit of help. Have you got anything to help me? That feels okay. I've also started trying to wear the eye patch a little less. I don't wear this patch all the time. I'm wearing it just for the videos, just because it can get a bit straining on the eye if I focus too much for a period of time. So I just patch for the video. I don't wear the patch around the house. I was wearing the patch when we went out walking the dog, because up until recently it had been a real struggle to, if I was looking up and around while I was out walking, it was really hard to focus and it was really disorienting. But the other day we went out and I thought, I'm going to try it without the patch, because it wasn't windy and the weather was okay. And to my surprise, my eye is focusing a lot better. When we're out walking, if I stop, it's far easier to focus, and it is improved. It's focusing better even when I'm walking, but still it still feels a bit weird, and I can't hold my focus up, like with my eyes up and out or looking straight ahead, if you like, for too long, because that makes my eye sore. And I really felt that actually. I can't remember what day it was. I don't know if it was Monday. We took the dog for a walk, didn't wear my patch, and then Tuesday morning my eye felt really would like almost sore, like, you know, when you've worked a muscle basically and you feel that soreness. That's what it felt like in my eye, and it went off gradually. And I also, when we popped to the shops in the car, I left the patch off just because I wanted to see what my eye would do as I'm looking, just to try and get a sense of what it would be like driving. And I don't think I'm ready to drive. I think that'd be too much of a strain on my eye. Just testing these things out, seeing how the eye's doing. But the eye it's getting better in terms of its ability to focus, so that is good. And I've actually started to just read in small sort of chunks of time physical books. I downloaded another audiobook, and I was listening to it on the sofa, and I just nodded off. Unless I'm on the treadmill listening to it, I just can't sit and listen to them. They just send me off to sleep. Or I was listening to it while I was doing some cooking. So I need to be doing something while I listen to an audiobook, because I just can't do it on the sofa. But I've actually I started reading a physical book yesterday, just in small chunks, because again, it can strain the eye. Again, up until recently, I've not been able to focus on a physical book. It was just, soreness aside, it was just not sharp enough. And I'm not saying it's laser sharp now, but it's much better than what it was. And this is the one I've been reading. I've had this book for years. I had had this book since I was about, I want to say 19, and I'm 45 now. And this is about the Eastern philosophy, would you call it philosophy of Taoism, which is, I suppose, essentially, it's accepting things as they are without overcomplicating them. But it's explained through the stories of Winnie the Pooh. I haven't read it for years, and I just felt the need to start reading it again, because I feel that the acceptance of things as they are is really pertinent to me right now. And I don't mean an acceptance as in a resignation of how things are, but I mean of an acceptance of reality. And I forgot how good this book is. The way it is written is just so engaging. So if you're interested in learning about Taoism and you want an engaging way to do it, I highly recommend this book. You can tell like how old this book is. It's like got that nice tint on the pages and the smell. And it's really strange because I've bought many books over the years, and I've decluttered lots of books over the years and given them to charity. And this is one of the books that I've never ever wanted to part with. And I think that says a lot about it. The other book that I've never wanted to part with is Man's Search for Meaning by Dr. Viktor Frankl. Never want to get rid of that. I've read that a few times. That's another one I recommend. So I'm enjoying reading that. I'm reading that in short chunks. That's going okay. Also, another thing I did, again, I don't know why, I just felt the need to go out and do it. Our garden was looking a bit sorry for itself because it's winter, a lot of things are dead. And I said to my husband, do you want me to go out and do a bit of weeding and tidying up? And because I just felt the need to get out there and do it. So I did. I was out there for about an hour and a half. I was listening to something on my phone in my earphones while I was out in the garden to keep me company. I really enjoyed it. It was just doing something, again, with my body that didn't use any mental energy. It was just simple. Let's dig up these weeds from the paving and in the flower beds. I feel that as the fight or flight stuff, because I feel like I've been fight or flight mode probably since diagnosis. I feel that's starting to settle, and bits of life are coming back in, bits of wanting to do things are starting to come back in, and that's, for me, that's really positive. I'm starting to see a shift, and that's good. What I don't want to do, which is what I'm prone to, is to then just start doing too much. And that's something that I want to take with me going forward, is that I think pre-diagnosis, I've just been reflecting on things before. I think I was doing too much or trying to cram too much into each day. I think that's just always been my tendency, is to do too much, and what I don't want to do is fall into that trap again. So I'm trying to keep myself paced, listen to my body, listen to my mind, listen to what's good for me, make sure I'm doing things that I find meaningful and enjoyable, but not pushing myself too hard. So this is a good learning curve for me. I'm feeling in a better place at the moment, so that's good. And I think there's going to be a few things I need to think of going forward to protect myself for when I eventually sort of go back out into the world, if you like, protect my mental energy, because I suspect, I may have to contend with well-meaning comments and questions, but that might leave me a bit frustrated. So I do have another session scheduled with the psychologist that I'm working with. I think I'd like to spend some time looking at that and how I can navigate those situations when they do arise, because it's been tricky enough with my immediate circle without then going back around other people and dealing with them. If you've got any tips for how to deal with that, if you've had to deal with that sort of thing, do let me know in the comments, because I'm open to suggestions, and if you've experienced it, what that's been like. I imagine that can be quite tricky. It'd be good to hear from you how you've dealt with that. Okay, I'm going to sign off now, but I will speak to you again soon.